Parking downtown is problematic, right? It's hard to find a spot. And that's kind of a good problem to have in some sense, right? Is the glass half full or half empty? People want to go downtown. There's things to do there. We have nice restaurants, we have interesting shops, there's stuff to do. It's not like some of, you go to some smaller towns, you know, just up the I-5 corridor or the Interstate 80 corridor, and the downtown there's plentiful parking because nobody wants to be there. They're all at these external big box sort of modern sort of mall-ish sort of things. And so the fact that Davis has an intact downtown that people want to go to and spend time at, that's a good thing. I think, though, we've reached that point where people will want to go downtown and are being discouraged from going downtown because they worry about where are they going to park. And we had a parking task force that spent almost a year. There were, I want to say, 11 meetings. It might have been 12, but each meeting there was a sizable reading packet, a very good discussion, and we brought in outside experts on the issues of parking and parking management. That commission came up with something like 19 different recommendations, but one of the key recommendations, let me back up. The commission was composed of kind of a good cross-section of Davis in terms of some shopkeepers, some terms of some residents, and just a variety of people, just involved community members coming together and really trying to look into, find out more about the parking issues and come up with some solutions. And so we made use of a lot of the previous studies that had been done by both the downtown businesses and also the university and also the city, pulled them all together, and ultimately the task force came up with 18 or 19 recommendations. The key one was to have some paid parking in the core of downtown. And this is kind of like the soda tax. If you look at it in isolation, you come up with one answer. If you look at it in the context of the real world that you're operating in, then you possibly come up with another. So when somebody's asked, hey, John, would you like to have to pay for parking? Well, no, of course not. Would I like to have to pay for a glass of water? Well, no, of course not. The context is we are adjacent to the university where the student enrollment is quite large. There are classes at all times of the day and all times during the week, and to park on campus costs $9. You can buy a quarter-long permit and it's slightly less, but if I just hopped in my car and went over there and tried to park somewhere, $9.
Or a ticket.
Or a ticket, yeah. If I'm not lucky that day or something. So downtown, we let people park essentially for free for 2 hours. So if I'm a student, have a 1-hour class on Thursday morning, maybe I'll go park downtown and just scoot to class and scoot back. And what's interesting, and people can try this if they're so interested in doing it, if you go to the Borders, I guess Whole Foods lot now, if you go and camp out at 9 o'clock in the morning and watch people park there and take a tally of which direction they walk. Are they walking to go to Whole Foods or the Gap, or are they walking towards campus? And you'll discover in many areas of our downtown, a lot of people are headed towards campus. And then we also have the situation where we have employees who are going to be downtown for 6+ hours. They'll park and then they'll just move their car and then move their car again, and there's no real incentive for them to go park a little further away. So the idea of paid parking is really about management. And this is a very important point. The reason for paid parking is to manage the supply, not so that the city gets revenue. And the idea is in some areas, let's call it, just for instance, 2nd Street and 3rd Street between D and G, you might have parking meters. And what you would do is at the parking structure at 4th and G, you allow 8 hours for free or some extremely reduced rate. So the employees would preferentially go park there. So there would still be plenty of free parking. 4th and G, the garage, we had talked about making it free parking, and a little further beyond 5th Street, everything would be free. But this sort of downtown is meters. And this is why the parking revenue piece is very important. That's not a primary consideration. The goal here is to have the employees park a little further away. And students go park on campus. The university has built lots of nice parking structures for students, and the fact that they're parking in our downtown, taking up spaces away from people who actually want to come downtown and shop and eat, that's not a good thing. Have them go onto campus. The parking meters of today are not the parking meters of yesterday. They will take money, they'll take credit cards, and they will take these sort of magnetic stripe cards. The reason that's important is that I don't know if you ever shopped at the downtown Macy's in Sacramento, but you could validate your parking. So you'd go, you'd get your little thing, and then you realize, wait, if I buy something, my parking is free. If I don't, then I have to pay a couple dollars. And then you go and buy a muffin or something, or a bagel. And you're like, can you validate this? And they validate it, and you go, and you have gotten to park there for free. We can do a similar sort of program, and we could do it in a smarter sort of way. So we could partner with the Davis Downtown Business Association, and every shop would be linked. And if you spend $100 a month or a quarter or some number, it would know, your card would know that. And when you go to pay for your parking, instead of 50 cents an hour, maybe it's free, first hour free, or first hour free and then 25 cents an hour after that. But the idea would be this could be used to help increase business for the businesses downtown. And for somebody like me who, okay, I went to Blaze Pizza and had a pizza with my son and, spent a little money, I might think, oh wait, if I spend an extra $15 this month, next month I can park for free. And so there's this incentive, and then it gets me to go downtown, and it's kind of this win-win situation. I kind of hate that term, but it really is. It helps the shopkeepers there, it helps me to support my downtown, and it also makes it easier for me to park, because even though more people are going to want to go downtown to shop and do things, we have freed up a lot of these prime spaces by scooting the students and the employees out of that section. So when I want to go, I can go and park in a much closer proximity to where I want to go. So it's much more convenient for me.
Good.